Introduction. The Battle of Quebec in 1775 was a major defeat for the American Continental Army during the American Revolutionary War. American forces fought against the British defenders in Quebec City. General Richard Montgomery was killed, Benedict Arnold was wounded, and over 400 soldiers, including Daniel Morgan, were captured. The British garrison, led by General Guy Carleton, suffered few casualties. Prior to the battle, the Americans had captured Montreal and attempted to take Quebec. Montgomery's force retreated after his death, while Arnold's force made some progress before Arnold was injured. Eventually, the Americans maintained a blockade until British reinforcements arrived in the spring. Background. In 1775, Allen and Arnold captured Fort Ticonderoga and raided Fort St. Jean, alarming the British. The possibility of invading Quebec arose, with General Carleton mobilizing defenses. Both sides misunderstood French-Canadian society, as habitants were independent and neutral. The American forces, led by Montgomery and Arnold, moved towards Quebec but faced limited support from the French population. The Quebec Act of 1774 had eased tensions between French Catholics and the British, leading to acceptance of British rule. Most French inhabitants did not actively join the American campaign, as they favored British support for their Catholicism and French culture. Battle. On December 30th, during a storm, Montgomery and Arnold led their militia companies to attack Quebec City. Montgomery's men faced heavy resistance and he was killed instantly. Arnold's forces also encountered strong opposition but managed to capture a barricade. However, they were eventually surrounded and forced to surrender. The Continental Army suffered its first defeat in this battle, with many Americans killed or taken prisoner. Arnold refused to retreat and laid siege to Quebec City, but the siege had little effect. Disease, lack of provisions, and unpopularity among the locals weakened the American forces. Governor Carleton chose not to attack the American camp. Congress sent a commission to rally support, but public opinion had turned against the rebellion. General Thomas arrived and decided to retreat. The Americans attempted to burn down the Queen's Wharf but failed. A British fleet arrived, further weakening the American position. Aftermath. In May 22, a survey was ordered by Carleton to identify Canadians who aided the American expedition near Quebec City. They found 757 Canadians involved. Carleton initially showed leniency, but punishments became harsher after the Americans were driven out. Some Canadians continued to support the revolution. British forces arrived in Quebec City between May 6 and June 1, 1776, with over 9,000 soldiers. Carleton blamed the locals for the quartering of troops. Carleton's command was criticized as lackluster, leading to Burgoyne taking over in 1777. Congress considered invading Canada again after the Battle of Saratoga, but logistical issues led to cancellation. The idea of invading Canada was debated but not pursued. During peace negotiations, the U.S. delegation requested Canada's cession, but it was refused. Several U.S. National Guard units trace their lineage to the Battle of Quebec,